Cool.
I'm always on time. I'm ahead of the game, I'm first place. I'm in my prime. Hard work that pays cause I'm paid off. Cross me, get crossed off. I'm so fresh, I'm so raw. Go hard like A-Day. It's game time like A-Day. I ball hard and play.
This season, watch the Hungry Jacks NBL take it to the next level.
We'll race anything around here. Even the odd penny farthing.
Hello and welcome to the Elephant Sports Centre in Launceston. Great to have your company for the Hungry Jacks NBL Blitz double header tonight. Couple of big ones too. Tasmania JackJumpers and the Cairns Taipans, followed by the Adelaide 36ers, who are still a chance to win the NBL Blitz. They're a chance to win the Loggins Bruton Cup up against the Perth Wildcats, who just about win everything. Great to have your company. Great to be in the company of former NBL MVPs. Back from the US, Corey Homicide Williams. Great to have you back, Corey.
Glad to be back, D-Russ. What's going on? Happy Friday, world.
It's nice to have some Friday night hoops to look forward to, and the crowd's building. The JackJumpers have been pulling a crowd. They have been a little up and down. The Cairns Taipans have only been down, but this should be a close one.
Yeah, it should be. I expect a free-flowing, high-octane offensive game. A lot of dunks, a lot of threes, and somebody got to get a win today. Hopefully Cairns can get up. You know, my team personally, this season, my team is the JackJumpers. I'm a fan, but Cairns need to get it together.
Final game tune-up for both these teams. So final game for the JackJumpers, who come into this having won 1, lost 3. The Cairns Taipans haven't won at all during the preseason, so this is their last chance to get it close to right.
Yeah, they need to. They finished bottom of the ladder last season, and you don't want to start off in preseason winless going into the regular season. We all know this ain't a cupcake league. Wins are hard to come by. So you want to get some positivity going into the regular season.
They've obviously got a bit to build on with new coach Adam Ford, who's the former coach of the Sydney Kings, replaces Mike Kelly, who probably tough given that he was coach of the year a season ago. They had a bad year last year, but they've got a little bit to work on with their new coach. Scott Roth, also new coach because they're a new team, Tasmania JackJumpers. So both these teams are on the fast track to refine their act because they've got a new squad, new coaches trying to get it right.
Both of those coaches were coaching together under the great Trevor Gleason in Perth. So good to see both assistant coaches getting coaching opportunities. Scott Roth, obviously, his first time as a head coach in NBL, and the second opportunity and a well-deserved opportunity for Coach Adam Ford with Cairns.
And these two teams also meet each other round 2 of the main season. They've already met once in the Hungry Jacks NBL Blitz. JackJumpers 81, Cairns 66. So the JackJumpers won that one. That's the only win they've had so far. So they were able to dominate Cairns in that one, and they meet in a couple of weeks' time. It's the Cairns' first home game in a couple of weeks' time, so they do want to try and get it closer to right.
Well, I can tell you something right now, D-Russ. I see a guy standing up wearing a sweatsuit on with Pumas, and I know Scott Machado has a deal with Puma,
Right.
which means he's not playing in this game.
Right. So they're giving Mr. Assists a rest for this one
Yes,
tonight.
indeed. Yes, indeed.
So that's going to knock them around a little. Crowds building. They've been impressive in the way they've been able to build the franchise quickly, the Tasmania JackJumpers.
Yeah, they have, and there's a lot of support behind this team. They've done a tremendous job in the community and preaching the gospel of JackJumper basketball in Tasmania. And the fans are up and about.
Looks like Clint Steindl, also the captain for the JackJumpers, won't be playing tonight given the way he's dressed. He's got a dislocated finger, as you can see. He's got a splint on it. He dislocated that a couple of minutes into the game a couple of nights ago. Went straight off, didn't come back on court, and it looks like he's still holding it a little softly at the moment, so that's not a good sign.
Definitely not a good sign for their sharpshooter. I look forward to him having a big year. You know, a lot of times Gleason would put him in when he was playing with Perth, and he would be hot and cold. I feel that he's going to have a big year this year, and I'm looking forward to seeing the Townsville Croc Clint Steindl this upcoming year. got the same colors right now, to be honest with you. That's the colors of the Crocs. So let's see.
Are you happy to see a bit of green back, are you?
Definitely.
One of the greatest Townsville Crocs of all time. Corey Homicide Williams with us. Great to have you with us. Game 1 of our doubleheader. Adelaide 36ers and the Perth Wildcats coming your way from the Elfin Sports Centre in Launceston later on tonight. But two teams that are extremely keen to grab a victory with their final tune-up game before the main season starts. Great to get it underway in front of just about a full house. And straight away off the tip, Maud Cole has a crack at it, and early basket for Cole. JackJumpers been up and down, as we've mentioned. McIntosh has been pretty good. The Jet has been leading them pretty well. McIntosh throws the float one in. Tajir McCall with the rebound and quickly down the floor. And the foul's been called just as Majok Deng was about to jam it down.
It's a good pass over the top of the defense. Caught him sleeping. That's an intentional foul.
Wow. Okay.
That was the correct call.
So to the line, Majok Deng. MCL injury last season. So he's had a couple of things to get through. But you're expecting some pretty big things from him this season, Corey.
I am. You know, he's a big focal point 2 years ago from joining the Taipans from Adelaide. He came in, had a really good year. That's when they went a game away from the grand finals against Perth. Last season, he gets injured. If I'm correct, it was at the NBL Cup for a big chunk of the season last year. And it hurt the Taipans, but he came back and finished off aggressive. So I expect him to have a big season this year for this team to compete in the regular season.
And a steal, nicely done. Tajir McCall flicks it back. That was nice. Beautiful bit of work from Cool McCall, I might call him. He does look like he's got some tricks.
Great anticipation up the lane. Lazy pass by the JackJumpers. Turnover, and it results in a nice bucket.
And there it is, dished out nicely to Will Magnay, who made a couple of statements. Starter against Perth, 22 minutes, 4 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. And they're playing at a fast pace. That's Big Zim, Steven Zimmerman, who's also impressed.
D-Russ, I told you, this is going to be a high offensive up-tempo game.
Rebound pulled down by Big Zim. And quickly down the floor again. Little use of the body was nice, Kouat Noi. And you've also been talking a little bit about Kouat Noi's season coming up.
Yeah, that was good defense right there by the JackJumpers. Offensive foul on Kouat Noi, but he has to, as we can see, perfect position to take that charge. But Kouat Noi is going to have, this is year 3 now. He's been injured a couple of times in his first 2 seasons as a Taipan. But he's going to have to lift and be consistent. The talent is there, great defense. The talent is there, but we need him to be consistent for this team to get wins.
So Noi strips Sam McDaniel, only Tasmanian on the JackJumpers roster. And it has been an up-tempo start. McCall had to go and save the day there. Saw a couple of options in the middle, and there is. He's 7 foot, Steven Zimmerman. He's going to have an impact this season. McIntosh from outside, that'll do.
It's a nice hit.
Needed that for JackJumpers. Had the crowd up and about against Adelaide. Opened up a 21-point lead and ended up losing that game in the Blitz. Noi back to Deng. Daniel wearing him. Gonna have to get it up. Time's running out, and it was a little too late.
That's good defense right there. Just stood his ground, put that body on Deng, and Deng wasn't able to take advantage. That possession, shot clock violation.
JackJumpers. 1 win, 3 losses. Game 1 went down by 10 to Brisbane. Game 2, a win over Cairns. 81-66, so they were impressive. And a loss to Adelaide and a loss to Perth, a big loss to Perth by 30. And Adelaide was kind of a big loss as well. They were up by 21 and lost by 2 in a thriller finish. Magnay, McIntosh hands it over. Majet. Into the paint, off balance. Thought he was going to get the foul call, Sam McDaniel, but no luck.
That's just a good defensive possession, one-on-one.
Oh, the Euro from Noy, couldn't finish it. McDaniel pulls it down quickly to Majet.
Listen, your moves are going to have to be legit if you plan on scoring on Sam McDaniel.
Majet
Junior
gets the crowd up and about.
Nice take and finish off the glass. Goes to the charity stripe for 3 the hard way.
It's going to be a starter this season. Josh Majet, 28 minutes against Perth Wednesday, 5.7 rebounds from the University of Alabama. 26 NBA games to his name as well. 18 for Atlanta, 8 for Orlando.
Yeah, and pardon me, Sam McDaniel. I was thinking about his father. You get the gist.
Tejer McCall hands it over. Zimmerman. He gets to wear the number he's always worn his entire life, the number 33. Here's McCall. Tried to dish. He does dish it off. Beautiful dish as well. And Coles had an impact early. Hasn't had a lot of minutes. Played with the Knox Raiders NBL 1 this season and hasn't had a lot of minutes in the Blitz, but he's making the most of them now.
So far, he's up to 5 points in this one.
Big arc on that. And McIntosh, who we know can shoot. A little bit of a corked eye a few nights ago, but 10 points for 3 rebounds in the 16 minutes he was on the floor. Sat down for a lot of it because he had that leg injury, but he looks okay right now.
Gosh, 2 for 2 from the check from the land of plenty.
11 each. Elfin Sports Centre in Launceston. You did some of your best work in Launceston as well, didn't you, Corey, at the Silverdome, just down the road from here? That's a monster. That is brilliant.
I sure did. I enjoyed the energy in that building.
So that's Deans, the local as well. So he's getting a bit of court time, Deans, which is nice. The locals have enjoyed seeing that. He's about to head off. He's a development player, about to head off to the University of Jacksonville. That's why there was a huge round of applause.
Always
Dean's
great.
putting that in.
And it's always great to see one of your own on the court. We wish him the best. I mean, this is the best preparation you're going to get going to uni.
There is Zimmerman. Stephen Eric Zimmerman Jr. All 7 foot of him. Got an issue, so we'll get that checked out by the doctor. Majet. McIntosh. Time running out from Majet. Step back 3. And missed it. Was touched out by McIntosh, so it'll be a Taipans ball. Noy nearly lost it.
That is a tough assignment right there.
One of the best defensive players in the league, and he caused the turnover. And straight down the other end of the floor, Majet couldn't finish. McCall. Noy. A little rusty, both these teams at the moment. McCall nearly saved the day, but couldn't make something with it. Deans hands it back. Majet. Plenty of time to set something up. Maybe in Chris Levick on the floor at the moment. Nice fake, and didn't get the roll that he was after, but it's got to be tipped. It's got to count. So Josh Majet, US men's national team for the FIBA qualifiers. One of the big stars that has come to town. There's the applause. Sarah Deans, the local, is going to get a few minutes tonight. And as we mentioned earlier, Clint Steindl, the captain, won't be playing with that dislocated finger.
And I like the poise Majette plays with. Never in a rush. Always seems fully in control and decisive with the ball out there.
And he's got some poise. He's the second most famous alumni from the University of Alabama. Female Master of Science that's flown the space shuttle, probably the #1 ahead of someone who's played 26 NBA games as good as that is. That was nicely delivered. And again, not the finish. Cole with the rebound. McCall with the rock. Jawai on the floor. Backs his way on Krislovic. And he caused the shot to miss, but the follow-up was delightful. Majuk Deng doing exactly what Corey Homicide Williams was talking about earlier.
And that's exactly what happens when Big Nate Jawai comes into the game. There's so much attention that goes to him. Even if he gets the shot up, you can't guard him one-on-one. He had so much attention, it put Deng in a position to get an offensive rebound and an easy bucket. That's exactly why whenever the big fella's in the game, give him the ball on the post. He makes plays happen.
Third season at Cairns after 3 with the 36ers. Majuk Deng. Josh Adams on the floor.
Excitement machine right here.
He is.
Super athletic.
And the crowd absolutely love him. Hands it over to Krislovic. McDaniel from the top. All net.
Perfect.
And he does make things happen, Josh Adams.
Definitely does. Comes in with a lot of energy at both ends of the court. Real aggressive on the offensive end. I think he's going to be a fan favorite in this league, let alone for the JackJumpers. That's a great offensive set, well executed. Nice mid-range shot at the elbow for Daniels.
Kenny on the floor now for Cairns. Natai. McCall. Clock was winding down, but Krislovic overcommitted. Yeah, Josh Adams, 17 points, top score for Tasmania against Perth. Fouled out in about 13 and a half minutes against the 36ers, but had 15 points against Cairns in the JackJumpers win against Cairns in game 2 of the Hungry Jacks NBL Blitz, so they'll know about him. We've done a fair bit of scouting on him to make sure they can shut him down here. Jawai, hard to shut down. Gets plenty of time to spend it, and finally spend it wisely.
A lot of wheeling and dealing down there.
Still a big key. Didn't play against Brisbane with some soreness a couple of nights ago, and he doesn't miss many either, Nate Jawai. Only missed one game in the last 3 seasons. From the corner, big arc on that as well, and McCall's doing it at both ends at the moment.
That's a good closeout by the big fella going out there, contesting that.
Back to Jawai. Takes him on, lost it. And here is Josh Adams. What's he got to set up here? The dish, gets it back, steps back outside 3, and you betcha.
Trying to tell you, excitement machine comes to play at both ends. And his energy's always consistent. I've seen bits and pieces of him, and I know he's going to be tough in this league.
Once hit 9 threes in a college game, Josh Adams, so he's pretty good from outside the arc. He's got a up and down pass, nearly died in a car accident that nearly ended his opportunity to play basketball full stop, but here he is back again. He's got the tattoo of the basketball and the cross and quotes of perseverance tattooed on his arm. He's been to Italy, Russia, Turkey, China, Spain, Dallas Mavs Summer League, and here he is in Launceston leading the JackJumpers 18-16, early lead, not far from quarter time. How's that from behind the back?
Nice pass and finish early in this quarter. Nice Backdoor cut, baseline cut for dunk. McIntosh hitting a couple of 3 balls in this quarter. Big fella.
What are you expecting from the JackJumpers? There'll be a honeymoon period, obviously, for them.
Yeah, it will be. They're the new kids on the block. They have to come out aggressive and assertive early. Every game is going to be a dogfight, but they have to show that they are worthy of competing in this league, worthy of fighting for a top 4 spot. It's not going to be easy, but who's here to not make finals, right?
Yeah.
Will Magnate's going to play a big part at both ends. Him being healthy, and obviously last season he was injured with Perth. So for him to come back, he's going to have a big year for them, especially at the defensive end. Clint Steindl, with his championship experience, he has to bring that down here, as well as Sam McDaniel. There's a lot of guys that's going to have way more opportunity here than they did with their previous teams. So sky's the limit for this team.
Adams puts another one up, and Weeks tried to steal it back again and was able to get it back again. So JackJumpers get another chance. Back to Josh Adams, the excitement machine. Takes them on into the paint. Tried the dish off, didn't quite work. Wanted to hand it over to Jock Perry, who's on the floor at the moment. Another development player, 7'1".
That was a nice take right there. He got fouled on that take. I think that's 2 shots. It should be.
Tajir McCall pleading his case. Good to see so many families, kids in the crowd here in Launceston. There will be a couple of games at the Silverdome during the main season. JackJumpers will head back down to Launceston. Pick a place Corey made his home a couple of times down the road.
I sure did.
What was your best there?
There was New Zealand. Oh, Bryce caught a buzzer beater to send it to overtime. There's some really good games down there the New Zealand Breakers played.
I'm talking about your best.
Oh, I didn't play any games
I
against.
think you played at the Silverdome.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Oh, okay. I stand corrected.
I was
Statman
talking
told me
about-
that you were up and about there a couple of times.
No. I was up and about there, sideline reporting.
Fair enough. Must have misread the memo.
That's what I was doing, sideline reporting.
Ngatai steps it in, had it stolen. Chris Levick. Nice hands. Josh Adams pulls up for 3. Not this time, Nate Jawai. And a couple hit the deck and hit the deck hard. Kenny. Jawai. Ngatai wants it back. Gets it back. Back to Jawai, and they worked out beautifully between them.
Beautiful. He didn't like the catch. Throws it back out. He didn't like his position on the court. Gets a deep seal. The ball goes right back inside to him. And one. Too big, too strong, too close to the basket. There's nothing you can do with that.
A minute and change left in the opening quarter. Game 1. This Hungry Jacks NBL Blitz doubleheader. Next, Adelaide 36ers and the Wildcats.
Stay tuned. That's the game, too, right there.
It's just the curtain raiser. JackJumpers pulling the crowd in, and they'll stick around. Jawai rattles out. 7th season at Cairns. Championship with Perth. Stint in the NBA and drops that one nicely. Mentioned the JackJumpers a little up and down. One stage they led by 21 against the 36ers heading to quarter time a couple of games ago, blown away by Perth. And Adams is going to be such a big key. Would have been a nice way to finish. Still get another possession after this though. Kenny hands it over. Zimmerman. Good step into the traffic. Back to Jawai. Delightful.
Jawai is having his way in this quarter.
Weeks. Kenyon on the floor. Jock Perry on the floor. Hands it back. Adams. Back out. Kenyon. Perry with the fadeaway. And that brings the crowd to their feet again as the seconds are about to tick down to quarter time.
That's a nice shot. Nice fadeaway. You got to make him play defense at the other end because right now Jawai is having his way.
Kenny tried to step it in, handed it out to Ngatai, rattles out, and the buzzer sounds for quarter time. Elephant Sports Centre in Launceston. Great to have your company wherever you're watching the Hungry Jacks NBL Blitz on KO Freebies. 22-21 at quarter time. What did you make of it, Corey?
Well, as I knew, both of these teams were going to be going at it. Defensively, been okay. Field goal percentage really high for Cairns because they're getting a lot of baskets in the paint. Free throws, pretty even. 3 or 4, 4 or 4. But I like the intent by both teams early. They want to finish off their preseason with a W. It's essential going into the regular season. You know, these aren't teams that's going to make finals, but what they want to do is start their season off with the win and in the right way. So far, so good. I like it's evenly matched.
So how much are they both concentrating on the scoreboard and how much are they just concentrating on the process?
I'll tell you this, they both need wins. Make no mistake about that.
So it does count.
It definitely counts.
Okay.
You know, you got one team that's the new kids on the block.
Yep.
So they're trying to get this thing. This is regular season for them right now. Then you got the other team that finished bottom of the ladder. You don't have any time right now. Your whole focus is to make sure, one, we do not repeat what happened last season, and two, be better individually as well as collectively. So all this counts. This is regular season for them.
Well, the JackJumpers will be centre stage because they host the opening game. Next Friday night, December 3, the Hungry Jacks NBL season opens. Tasmania JackJumpers hosting Brisbane, My State Bank Arena in Hobart. It's already sold out. It's going to be a ripper. That's your opening game of the main season. And then the second game in next Friday night's doubleheader. Perth hosting Adelaide at RAC Arena in Perth. And that's why it's going to be pretty important for Adelaide and Perth to get it right when they meet later on tonight, because they're meeting next week as well in Perth, the second game of the doubleheader on opening night. It'll be great to have your company next week and the main season up and running.
And you know Adelaide got them first a couple of days ago.
In fact, we'll talk about Adelaide a little bit later on. Looking forward to having a chat to you about them, but they look like they've got a couple of new tools that don't look too bad. Fabian Krislovic, they'll get another chance here as Krislovic's ball rimmed out. It was a strange game, that game against Perth for Adelaide. 63-56. It's very rare you keep a Perth team to 56 points, but save a bit of that for later. That was weird.
Was it really?
You've got that look in your... Okay, all right, I'll admit, I'm just starting to throw the bait out there. I watched NBL overtime. You and Cam and Liam Santa Maria, I watched it, and you said that the Perth Wildcats won't make the finals.
Look, I know I've said that every year, but this is a year I'm not sure. It's a lot of question marks that needs to be answered.
I've got some questions for you later, but I might as well ask you one now. How much will the change of coach hurt them?
This is my thing.
Okay.
We cannot underestimate the great Trevor Gleason and what he meant to that team and organization. How many championships up there? 4 or 5?
Greatest coach they've ever had.
There you go.
Yep. Okay.
So it's almost equivalent to Brady and Belichick splitting.
I like it.
How much of it was Belichick? Or was it Brady? Brady being Cotton, the great Cotton.
Yep.
We're going to see.
We are. Bryce is in good form at the moment, by the way, but no Trevor Gleason. So the Wildcats, 10 championships the Wildcats have won. Scott Morrison, you know what you're thinking, not that one. He's now coach of the Wildcats, so looking forward to that later tonight and next week. when the NBL season gets underway. 23-21 here. Cole. Noy takes it in, plenty of opposition, trying to feed it back out, stolen by Weeks, and I think he's going to have to give it back to Cairns. He had the last touch, or did he? And he's a fighter, Jared Weeks. Age at 97, always gives his heart and soul.
Always, and that's why he's still in this league. Because exactly what you just said, heart and soul he gives every possession, every time he's on the court. Make or miss, I don't care about that. But it's how you go about your business, how you play this game. And he brings it.
Josh Adams again. Slovic could have let it fly. He decided to throw it up to Will Magnay.
That was a good deep seal, right play to make. Just unlucky with the finish.
See what the JackJumpers want to run here. If they get it into the hands of Josh Adams, no, it's Cairns' ball. That's why they didn't have to worry about what they were going to do. Steven Zimmerman. Little behind the back work and the spin move, and not quite the bucket. Did the hard work, couldn't cash the check. Might still now. Backs his way in.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
nicer.
Oh yeah, that was some nice footwork by the big fella to play the attempt that he missed. But he got it back and finished his breakfast.
Henderson, Tennessee, Steven Zimmerman. And not quite edged out there, not called by the ref. Quickly down the floor. Zimmerman, man we were talking about, to Kenny. Noy. Zimmerman hands it back out to Kenny. To the corner. And nice rebound taken down by Will Magnay. And again, JackJumpers might play quick here. McIntosh gave it some thought. Back out, Magnay. And in the middle of it all, Matt Kenyon had 2 to beat. There is Mr. Energy, Josh Adams, barking the instructions. Little guy, high energy. And as Corey said, he's going to be a big fan favourite.
Right there, you see Magnay 0 for 3, his last 3 attempts. See a little bit of rust on him. You know, he was injured a little bit.
Yep.
Just came back. Sure, they're going to play him spotty right now because they don't want to risk him getting re-injured. But I expect him to make those plays come regular season.
Majet back out. Little up fake from Adams. Stepped in. He tried to draw the foul with an unnatural shooting motion. Hasn't been watching any NBA this season. And the ball's out. Jared Kenny, 36 years of age. 4th season at Cairns after 3 with the Wildcats, a couple of championships. Noy to the corner. And it was always going to rim out the moment it left the hand of Cole. He was nearly going to follow it in, but kind of gave it up in the end. Majet. Adams. Beautiful to watch. Magnificent arc on it, all net when it landed.
This guy's a bucket getter, man. He can create off the dribble. He can shoot the 3. He's really athletic. He is going to make this team dangerous.
He's getting better with each passing game by the looks of it as well. Mentioned he fouled out against the 36ers, was disappointed with that, especially given the tightness of the game, but he's having a huge impact here. And he's teaming up well with Josh Majet. To the corner. Talked about Mikhail McIntosh a bit already, but they're also finding their chemistry together, these guys. Newly formed team. And when they've got it going, they look fantastic together. Kyle again lets it fly.
Great hustle by the JackJumpers. Both players in preseason diving on the floor for the loose ball. Showing desperation early. This game is a big W for either of these teams.
See the intensity. Matt Kenyon. McIntosh saw an opening and we'll go to the free throw line.
Nice aggressive take. He's hit a couple of 3s early in this game, but I do like the fact that he didn't settle for a J. He felt he had the advantage one-on-one, attacked, got foul. Now he goes to the charity stripe for 2 after this timeout.
6'7" Canadian on a 1-year deal. Kyle McIntosh played in France, Belgium, South Korea, some NBA G League. Played for his home country, Canada. I know Liam was talking about a tattoo that he had the other night, the fact that he's got a Goofy movie tattoo on him. Did you come back from New York with any new ink?
Nah.
No new ink for you?
No, not at all. I got enough.
I've got a tattoo for you. If you want it, if the best tattoo I've ever seen. I think it's just right for you.
what you got, D-Russ?
A sports star called Nathan Vardy, athlete who could have turned his hand to a bit of basketball. Arguably the greatest new age tattoo in the world. I suggest you get one. It's a QR code that when you screenshot it, it goes to your highlights reel.
Really?
That's what you need.
So
people can screenshot your arm and it takes you straight to Corey Homicide Williams' highlights reel off YouTube.
Oh my goodness. That's a lot. I'm good.
You were front page of the New York Times over there whilst you were away.
Yeah, I was very fortunate to host and MC the refurbishment of Rucker Park, done by the NBA Players Union. And it was a full circle moment. You know, after college, I graduated, man, and I didn't have any help, any offers, any agent, and that street ball tournament, Entertainers Basketball Classic, changed my life. Got me an opportunity to NBA. I got better jobs overseas, and here I am today. So I was very grateful. It was a full circle moment for me. You talk about these mythical figures, you know, Dr. J's, Pee Wee Kirkland, Joe Hammond, Tiny Archibald, these guys that have played in this park and brought the park to life.
Yep.
And here I am introducing these guys, my forefathers.
Lovely.
And it was incredible, man. I was truly grateful.
Congratulations to you for everything you've done, and we're truly grateful to have you here in Australia, and all the kids that you've talked to over the course of time at schools and the clinics you've put on are also thankful. Magjuk Deng sees that one rim out to Kyle McIntosh. You're a giver, Corey, and you do so much off the court, it must be said, for those people who are unaware. Majet's got the ball in his hand now. Halfway through the second quarter, JackJumpers 28, Taipans 23, and on the lazy Susan, Josh Majet. That'll make the KO mini. That'll make the highlights.
I'm trying to tell you, this is an excitement machine. Will Magnay can protect the paint, which he will, and he can keep it going offensively. This team will upset teams.
That was beautiful to watch. Here he is again. He's got his confidence up again now, Josh Majet. And tried, but the alley-oop didn't quite work. Will Magnay knew what he wanted to do. He just couldn't finish it. Majet gets a chance to set it up again, but they've turned it over. It looks like it might be a Cairns ball, although after the spillage, they might have to have a consultation here, the refs. Majet just having a chat, pleading his case as well.
Great hustle. A lot of players out there.
Coaches challenged this season in the main season as well, Corey. That's going to change a few things.
Yeah, it sure is.
Opportunity for every coach in every game to challenge. If you win your challenge, you keep your challenge. So if you're good enough, you can have 20 challenges a game and get them all right.
Let's just hope that there isn't 20 challenges.
I do tend to put a bit of mayo on. Okay.
I mean, we're on air for about an hour extra.
Lost their hand on Tajir McCall, so he's going to have to give this one back. It's good to see so many Tasmanian fans around the country getting some live basketball to watch again. They're JackJumpers in action here in Launceston, as I mentioned, in Hobart for the opening game of the NBL season next Friday. Turnover, that doesn't work. That'll anger the fans. And Yano Pinder on the floor now, putting himself on the highlight reel.
You know, in the open court, he's extremely athletic. Had some big dunks last season for the 36ers.
He had 8 points, 10 rebounds on Wednesday against Brisbane, so he was pretty active as well in that game. Adams nearly lost it. They had him, and he almost looked around and caught his own foul there.
Canopenda came in with big hype when he signed with Adelaide. Started off slow, but slowly picked it up offensively and defensively. This is a really good pickup for the Taipans.
Adams has to go and fetch it. Time ticking down though, so how's that for a screen? Will Magnay says what me? There's a couple of words with Kouatnoi. He was annoyed. And there is a little bit in this, and it's kind of nice to see.
I love it. You know I love this.
I do know you love it.
Set the tone early.
I think the crowd love it as well. When you're playing to draw these people back as well, they have a good time tonight. They see a win. Mum, Dad, when are you taking us back to that NBL that we love so much? Noi. Tajir McCall. Noi steps it in. 3 JackJumpers around him, draws the foul, and he's happy about that, and so is his bench.
It's a nice take, nice aggressive take to the right side of the court. Goes up, gets bumped, now he goes to the line for 2. This is how he needs to be aggressive and not just settle for the 3-point shot. And that's what happens when you're a 3-point shooter. You tend to settle instead of attacking and mixing it up really good.
Rattles the first one down from the stripe. And can tie it up here with 3:49 left in the half.
Well, for me, there's so many other things that can come out of you penetrating. You can pass, you can get fouled, you can score. You know, you missing, you put your team in a position to get an offensive rebound. That's just 4 things really quick. I mentioned. You know, you miss a 3-point, you take a 3-point shot, only 2 things going to happen.
Yep. You get in there, you draw a crowd. You drew a few crowds on and off the court as Majet does it again.
Nice take. So unassuming.
He's no tattoos, just a normal plain hairdo. The shoes are a normal color.
Doesn't even look like a hooper.
A little bit of pink on him. Yeah, but yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
He's getting it done.
If you saw him in the supermarket, you wouldn't think, okay,
you would not think he could hoop.
26 NBA games.
Perfect example of looks can be deceiving.
Yeah. Timeout called, 32-30. Talked a bit about the Tasmania JackJumpers hosting Brisbane at MyState Bank Arena in the opening game of the season that starts next Friday night. For those unaware when the other games are on, the second game in the doubleheader on Friday night, Perth and Adelaide, and then Saturday, December 4, Southeast Melbourne Phoenix hosting New Zealand Breakers, John Cain Arena in Melbourne. And Corey, you and I will be there. 100% capacity now, back for John Cain Arena in Melbourne. Remember capacity crowds?
Oh,
remember what they were like?
Oh, man, I cannot wait to call that one. The fans will be in attendance, that passionate group, to see their championship winning team take the court.
Yeah, Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, New Zealand Breakers, and Adelaide hosting Illawarra on Sunday, December 5. Sydney Kings hosting Melbourne United. And Melbourne United's first home game of their season is the week after, so that's when the championship banner will be unveiled, and it's against Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. So it's a Melbourne United home game that is in round 2 against Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. So that first game at John Cain Arena, Southeast Melbourne Phoenix and New Zealand Breakers. Melbourne United's first game at Kudos Bank Arena against the Sydney Kings. But they've looked a little scratchy as well during the Blitz, Melbourne United. You've had a few things to say about.
I'm not impressed with what's going on. I know they have another import up their sleeve, but that team ain't getting it done. There's some other pieces that have to come in.
Are you worried it won't click?
I mean, you know, Dean Vickerman's a great coach, right? We don't ever second guess what he's going to do. But from what I saw so far,
Keeping it. I'll press you more about that a little later on in the night. Good retrieve from Quoll, but now he's got nowhere to go and nearly turned it over. Noi made it work, handed it to Deng, and quickly down the floor. Josh Adams gave it some thought, saw McCall, gave it back to Majet. He's the hot hand. McIntosh steps it in, had the chair pulled on him. Cairns ball. Cole. And from the corner was Noib. It's been called under the basket. We will see South East Melbourne Phoenix playing Melbourne United at the Melbourne Sports Centre in the Throwdown Light this Sunday. So looking forward to that doubleheader this Sunday as the Blitz continues with Brisbane and Adelaide on Sunday, and South East Melbourne Phoenix and Melbourne United, the final Blitz game this Sunday before it all starts next Friday night.
That offensive foul would not have happened by Deng if they would have thrown him the ball in the post where he had the mismatch. And it's about identifying mismatches and work from there.
Majet from the line. Looks calm, composed, reliable.
So wait a minute, D-Russ. What game do we have next
This coming Sunday?
Yeah.
Brisbane and Adelaide, and that will probably decide the Loggins Bruton Cup. And then South East Melbourne Phoenix and Melbourne United from the Melbourne Sports Centre Throwdown Light. The crowd's up and about again. They're enjoying it at the moment from the JackJumpers. You think it's going to be on between Phoenix and United on Sunday?
Listen, I say this right now. Phoenix winning that game.
Phoenix winning that game.
Phoenix got a crew.
So what about when they meet in round 2, Melbourne United home game? You think they'll make a little statement there as well?
Phoenix winning that game too. I saw Melbourne United's team. I'm not impressed.
Majet. We're impressed with him. We're impressed with Josh Majet, and getting more impressed by the minute. Pinder hands it up. McCall caught under the bucket. Have it back out. And he gave it a good, long, hard thought. And the fadeaway, if you don't mind, from Nate Jawai.
For me, just keep giving him the ball with this unit right here on the court. Look, they're not hitting any threes, so just give the ball to the big fella inside. Let him work from there. If they double, he's a good passer, and play inside out.
From the top, Bairstow. Trying to get his own ball back, but couldn't quite, and they tangle up. Jared Bairstow and Nate Jawai. Crowd are into this game right now, and it's got some spice in it. It's enjoyable. Final tune-up game for both these teams before the main season starts. And they both want to get the W. Corey Homicide Williams read it early. He said there's a bit on this. It's important to both, and they're playing it like it's important to both. By the way, Corey's top 4 for the end of the season does have Melbourne United in it with South East Melbourne Phoenix, but it also includes Illawarra and the Kings. He gave us that on NBL Overtime. So, yeah, no Wildcats in that top 4, but I suppose you do change your mind a couple of times during the year.
If you play different, I talk different. But right now, that's what I got.
McCall, gee, he's got some ups. Got up there high for that rebound. Tajir McCall, USA from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Had a 10-day NBA contract with the Atlanta Hawks back in 2019, but had some summer league with Orlando Magic, played professionally in France, G League Championship, and he's looking nice early on in his time in Australia. And here he is on cue. Can't fill it up for us on cue.
Lid from the three-point line.
McDaniel down the floor.
Is on top of that basket for the Taipans.
Yeah, the drought's got to break soon, you'd think, although it's just still in this game. 37-32. McCall out of control, got there, and the foul.
was a nice take. Came off that screen, saw a seam. Defense was too low. He goes, attacks the basket, and he gets fouled. And those are the plays that have to be made when you're not hitting shots from the perimeter. Got to attack the basket. Play inside out when the big fella's on the court. Got lucky right there. That call could have went both ways.
Tajir McCall from the stripe. Finds his way down eventually. So their three-point percentage, their shooting percentage has been down, Cairns, but still well and truly in this contest. Majet. Bairstow. Adams mesmerised them then. He looked around as if he was going to give it away. He had no intention of giving it away at all.
I love this backcourt.
They're going to bring the fun, and they're going to bring the fans to the venues to watch their games. They might go down, but they're going to go down having a crack. Jawai had to hand it back out. Pinder, Noy drops the two in. They're on the way back in.
See, Russ, you see what I'm saying? Just play inside out.
Yep.
They're going to double him. He's going to make the right play. And a higher percentage play comes out of that.
Majet. McCall. Into the last minute. It's a few less seconds than the shot on our screen tells us there is. There's still a couple of possessions left in the half. And McCall steps it inside again.
That time it was an offensive foul.
Yep.
Good defense.
So it was a 50-50 last time. And he got the call. 50-50 this time, maybe in his eyes, even though on the refs it wasn't. And he doesn't get the call. JackJumpers ball. Again, they've had one win so far in this Hungry Jacks NBL Preseason Blitz, and it's against the Cairns Taipans. See what they can do late here. From the corner, tried to draw the foul, McDaniel, and didn't. So half-time at the Elephant Sports Centre in Launceston. Great to have you with us. Corey Homicide Williams is with us, and at the half it's the JackJumpers by 3, and they're giving the home crowd something to cheer.
Yes, they are. They're working their behinds off collectively at both ends. I told you this was going to be a dogfight, and they want to make sure they take care home. They want these fans in the building. They want the support. They're building from the ground up, so this effort is great. Solid first half. I'm loving the backcourt of the JackJumpers. They're exciting. One is unassuming, and one is just exciting to watch. And I think this backcourt will give some teams problems. I'm just waiting to see when Will Magnate's 100%.
Yep.
Controlling the paint and finishing on the offensive end. I'm telling you, this team is going to shock some teams this season.
No Clint Steindl with that dislocated finger for this one this evening, but no Scott Machado for Cairns as well, so that's a big loss for them.
Yeah, definitely. That's the floor general. That's the assist leader. So it'll be interesting to see who's going to lead the league in assists, because you have Majet, who's legit.
Yeah.
But Machado also sets the table as well. So two really good point guards for both of these teams.
Great to see the fans in the house here at Elephant Sports Centre in Launceston, who, Statman tells me, hosted an NBL Grand Final here in 1980. St Kilda and the West Adelaide Bearcats, home court for, you told me, the Launceston Casino City won a championship in the 80s. That's how far we're going back. There's the numbers, and three-point percentage 2 of 10 for the Taipans. So no wonder they're behind. If they got that right, then they'd be in front right now.
But they've done a good job. The Taipans, rebounding 19, passing the ball pretty good with 10 assists. Defensively, 4 steals. scoring leaders. Jet with 12 at back court, 23 points. McIntosh with 8. Jawai and Cole, 17 combined. Kawhi Noy brings that trio to 23.
Big 7-foot Steven Zimmerman, 4 rebounds. Noy 4 rebounds. Will Magnate 4 rebounds as well. Jim McCall doing it at both ends, as we mentioned, been attacking in the paint. Assist leaders, Jim McCall with 5. Josh Midget with 3, as Corey Homicide Williams mentioned. Will be a threat to Scott Machado for the assists title this coming NBL season. Don't forget, later tonight, Adelaide 36ers and the Perth Wildcats as part of our double header. So make sure you stick around. Halftime here in Launceston, and it's the JackJumpers 39, Taipans 36.
We'll race anything around here. Even the odd penny farthing.
Half-time in Launceston. Great to have you company wherever you might be watching. Corey Homicide Williams and I with you for the opening game of our double-header tonight as part of the Hungry Jacks NBL Blitz. Tasmania JackJumpers and the Cairns Taipans, their last tune-up game before the main season starts next Friday night. It starts for the JackJumpers, who host Brisbane in the season opener. So a big opportunity for them to be able to get their act ready to go in front of a full house. And it's going to be rocking at MyState Bank Arena in Hobart next Friday night. And at the half here, they lead by 3. What have you made of it?
I like the backcourt of the JackJumpers. They're up and at 'em. Combined, they have 23 points. Josh Midget and Josh Adams I'm talking about. Midget, I believe, has 4 assists. Zimmerman showed some promise early in this game. I like Nate Jawai, the way he's playing. I'd like to see more offensively from let's see. Give me 1 second. Just went blank. Kawhi Noy. I need to see more. I like to see him get to the basket more and not settle for the jumper. I think he'll be more dangerous and helpful for his team getting to the basket, because it'll get him to the free throw line as well and get the juices flowing that way. And I just don't want him this season to live and die on the perimeter more. I believe he's a better player penetrating and getting to the basket.
He was second in Rookie of the Year voting behind current NBA star LaMelo Ball a couple of years ago. So I can see why you're expecting this to be the season where he steps up.
This is year 3. You know, this is, you need to show and prove now. So that's what I'm looking for this season. I'm looking for him to make that jump. It needs to be a big one.
If you haven't been watching the Hungry Jacks NBL Blitz so far, there's 2 undefeated teams at the top of the ladder, Brisbane and Adelaide. So the 36ers playing later on tonight against the Perth Wildcats. So a couple of undefeated teams. They're playing for the Loggins Bruton Cup, and the way the NBL Blitz rules are 3 points for a win, but you also get a point per quarter won and half a point for a drawn quarter. That's the way it works. It all adds up at the end, and we'll find out who wins the Loggins Bruton Cup. There's also a Ray Border medal that's awarded, Corey. So it's almost time to start giving a thought as to who might be the front runners for that. We're getting deep into this NBL Blitz. Tomorrow night, Illawarra and Sydney from the Wynn Entertainment Centre. And as I mentioned earlier, a couple of games Sunday to finish the pre-season off. Brisbane and Adelaide, the 2 undefeated teams, go head-to-head. That's at MyState Bank Arena as well. And then Southeast Melbourne Phoenix and Melbourne United at the Melbourne Sports Centre in that mini throwdown before they meet again in round 2. What have you made of, give us a little preview of tomorrow night, Corey? Illawarra, Sydney, Wynn Entertainment Centre in Illawarra.
That's going to be a goodie. You know, there's a whole lot of things that have been said in the media. And now it's time to play.
I noticed that you've got them both making the playoffs at this stage, Illawarra and the Kings.
I do. Illawarra I'm very impressed with. They're stacked. They were a game away from the grand finals. Majority of their team have come back. So you should be in the finals. Got a year of experience playing together under the great man, Brian Goorjian.
Grabbed Australia a bronze medal as well. He knows how to coach. We know that. He always has known how to coach. So let me throw that question back at you that I half asked you earlier on. How much of a team's success do you attribute to the coach? Wildcats, for example, Trevor Gleeson, have been iconic, but they've been pretty stable. They've had the same coach. They've had Bryce Cotton. Is Trevor Gleeson just one of 10 with a major influence at the Wildcats in recent seasons? Is getting Brian Goorjian worth how many wins for Illawarra?
I feel like those two guys, they know how to get the best out of their players and their team. Goorjian to come into this league, as tough as it is, it's the toughest the league's ever been. And for him to come in and get that team to the finals the first time, that's just a credit to how great of a coach he is, understanding schemes and executing at both ends, putting his players in the best position to win, challenging his players, getting the best out of the players. That's just a testament to great coaching. And
they have laid a pretty good platform with what they did last season, heading into this season.
And that's my point. You know, they have momentum. They were there already. So there's no way, barring injury, you should not be there this season. You know what it takes. a year wiser, a year older, hungrier, knowing where you messed up, there's no way you shouldn't come back more motivated to get back to where you were or even get further.
I'm looking forward to it tomorrow night as well. So that's coming away tomorrow night on KO, Illawarra and Sydney from the Wynn Entertainment Centre as the Hungry Jacks NBL Blitz continues. Later on tonight, again, Adelaide 36ers in Perth, and that should be a ripper as well. Second half underway here at the Elephant Sports Centre in Launceston. Cairns finished the first half strongly. JackJumpers lead by 3, looking for their second win of this NBL Blitz.
Oh, and my bad. Let's talk about Sydney.
Yep.
Riddled with injuries last year.
Yep.
You know, so I'm expecting them. Cooks could be first team All NBL.
A couple of teams starting with a few men down during this Blitz. Perth Wildcats being one of them. Sydney Kings a couple out as well as Noi. Got them all in the air and then couldn't finish. McDaniel hands to Majet.
I'll take that finish. It was an aggressive take. I'll take that miss. I'm sorry.
You want him to do it again?
Yeah.
Every time. Majet. Well, fade away 2. Off the back pedal. Didn't quite work for him, but barely jumped off the deck to try and poke it in. McCall. Zimmerman. And again, it rims out for Bull Quoll, but he's put a few in so far tonight, and sort of a few in that first half rim out that were close. Handoff was slick to Magnay from Adams. I hope it was meant for him, but it seemed to work. Lucky Magnay's hands were solid.
And that's a great take. Get your big guy touch early in the second half.
Early up fake, and it was...
What'd I tell you, D-Russ?
Yep,
What'd I tell you?
You're good. You are really good.
Go to the rack.
That's why we pay you the big bucks.
You know, go to the rack. I wish I was getting the big bucks.
Kuat Noi doing exactly as Corey Homicide Williams wanted him to do. Set it pre-game, repeated it at halftime, and now it's materialising before our eyes. Majet. McDaniel hands it back over to Adams. Steps in, snakes his way through them, off the glass. And
beautiful move. Did everything but finish it.
yeah. Zimmerman. Noi had to hand it up. Back to Zimmerman. Likes what he's got. And a little up fake, and now he drops it in. Stephen Zimmerman, 7 foot and solid as ever.
It's just great ball movement, good offensive possession, finding your big guy that deep. And he's a good finisher with a great touch around the basket.
Oh, big screen called against Will Magnay. Tajir McCall hit the floor hard. But he's okay. McCall brings it down the floor. McDaniel in his grill, forced him to give it up. Zimmerman. Deng. McCall. Zimmerman. Into the paint. Draws a crowd. Got him in the air. Doesn't finish again. Adams hands it out. Majet. Saw an opening. Shut down. Sees another opening. Not shut down. Gee, they've seen a few rim out. Both teams. Straight down the floor. Deng rejected. And Noi with the putback.
And when you start getting to the basket off the dribble, right, your juices get to flowing, right? You're just sitting at the three-point line. It's make or miss. You're not really inclined to chase down the offensive rebound. You're just hanging out at the three-point line. But being that he got to the rack the last 2-3 times, it was an easy move and play for him to get to the basket and just get an offensive putback. That's why it's important to get to the basket.
So do you think there is hope for Cairns to get it together this season? Big season out of Noi. Big season from Deng. Jawai delivers most years. We know what we're going to get from him. A couple of new guys come in. Tajir McCall, Stephen Zimmerman. is there hope for them to push hard for the playoffs?
Here's the reality, D-Russ. You just don't want to finish last again. So that's the motivation coming into this season.
I see Mike Kelly in the background too, by the way, who's going to be part of the coaching staff for the Wildcats later on. But continue on, Corey.
Yeah, I mean, 2 seasons ago,
he's coach of the year.
He's coach of the year.
Yeah.
Their main team, their main crew of Cairns right now, we're a game away of the grand final. So they have the ability. It's just about getting it back together and believing, being confident, and refusing to finish last. Putting games together, holding yourself accountable. Come and do your job well. Don't worry about nobody else's job.
Did we underestimate the impact of Cam Oliver?
Yeah, they don't have Cam Oliver and they don't have DJ Newbill. However, they still have a good enough young, talented team to not finish last and be competitive. Yeah, last year there's a couple of injuries, but even when they were collectively not injured together, they still were playing bad.
Jet hands it out to McIntosh, who rattles that down. Good start to the third. This from the JackJumpers, back in front.
That's what you want to see from your team when you call a timeout. Come out and execute a set.
Zimmerman could have gone himself, instead unselfishly back out. Tajir McCall was the man, back to Zimmerman, and he does what he probably should have done last time. Nice little hook.
I like that matchup on the block.
Big Zim, they call him. Wearing the 33 that he wore in college. Yeah, it's just starting to settle in. It'll push off the ball. See, Adam Ford's pretty happy with the call. The man who coached the Sydney Kings last season, replaced Mike Kelly, 4 championships at Perth as an assistant.
You know what I liked again about this Taipans team, and I'm sure Coach Ford addressed it. We ain't hitting nothing from the 3. Go inside, and every time they've gone inside, they've gotten high percentage plays and even good finishes.
44 apiece, and the steal, the strip. Zimmerman might go alone. He hands it up, and delightful from the hand of Tajir McCall.
Zimmerman, talented. That's your 7-foot center, pushing the break and making the right pass and finish.
Was picked 41 in the 2016 NBA draft. Orlando Magic called his name out, Stephen Zimmerman, and they'll be calling his name out a bit. The commentators this season, the way he's travelling at the moment, early stages of the Blitz for the Taipans. Foul call. McIntosh will go to the line.
That's a grown man move. Real physical, showed his strength.
12 points against Cairns in the JackJumpers' only win in the Blitz so far this pre-season. Kyle McIntosh. Here he is at the line. 6'7" from Canada. All net with that one. This is shaping to have a nice little finish on it, this one, Corey.
I tell you, it's going to be a good one, D-Russ. This game ain't disappointing yet. It is not disappointed yet.
And the big boys are stepping up to play at the moment as well. Oh, nearly, as you mentioned. Little hesitation step. Nearly put his toe over the line. See what the Cairns Taipans can set up here. Zimmerman. He's had a good couple of minutes. Steps it in. Little twist and turn. McCall waits. Majet in his face. Cool McCall delivers.
And that is exactly what you call making something out of nothing. It was real good pressure defense by the JackJumpers. Offense broke down. McCall steps up and hits a 3-ball.
McDaniel drew a crowd. Had to give it up. Krislovic back out. McIntosh rattles it down.
We are back tied up, baby.
And it's going up a gear. McCall took on the 3 of them on his way down the floor, and he's hurt. Hit the deck hard.
Got a little lucky, was a bit out of control again.
Yeah.
He recognizes, he tells Coach Ford, my bad, you're right, Coach. It's a little bit too thirsty, that possession. My bad, Coach.
Did you ever get a rush of, how often did you get a rush of blood yourself?
All the time. All the time.
Yeah.
I've done that with Gleason all the time.
How did he cope with that?
Oh, man. I just had to make sure I ran the offense the next three possessions to calm him down.
McCall's having a rest after hitting the deck hard. 49 apiece. In fact, he's not having a rest. He was thinking about it. He stayed out there. And Jawai under the bucket. Held his ground. Rizlovic was up against him. He was the meat in the sandwich. Big Nate Jawai. Still a Taipans ball. Yet to win a game in the Blitz. Want to win one now to finish it off with. No foul called. Jawai mopped. No, he didn't mop it up. Wow. Easy putback. Missed. And from the scramble, it's still a Taipans ball.
The scramble. We've seen every quarter both of these teams diving on the ball, diving on the floor for that loose ball, showing that desperation. Now, when you're not the favorite or the most talented team, all of these things count going into the regular season because you need the confidence.
Gee, that was tough. And stripped by Kenyon, and he was fouled on the way, and clear path as well.
It's a great hustle. It's a great job defensively denying that ball, getting your hands on that ball, and coming up with it.
Had 12 months out of the game, Matt Kenyon with the dislocated knee. 21 games for the Bullets. Been used sparingly in this one. Here's to the line. Ooh, left that one out there. So still a JackJumpers ball. He had the clear path to the bucket. He was hacked on the way there. JackJumpers get another chance to extend this margin. McDaniel. Majette. Perry. Majette. McCall making him work. Got it into the paint, then gave it up, strangely enough. And that's why he gave it up, because he had the confidence in Perry to drop it from there.
You're just talking about poise and making the right play under the defensive pressure.
Strip, Majette, full of beans. Holds it back out. Didn't like what he had on offer, sets it up again, and goes for the same, not this time, from Jock Perry. And Nate Jawai just out of his reach.
That's a little bit too much, but Majette, 12 points, 5 assists, 2 steals, 2 rebounds. Putting together a good game.
As you mentioned, unassuming. He's going to have to get himself some outrageous tattoos, crazy blonde locks, or do something. Although maybe he's going to leave that to Josh Adams. Let Josh Adams be the poster boy.
That's exactly what he's going to do.
Josh Adams probably looks like the kind of guy who's more than happy to take that mantle. As you mentioned, they're going to draw a crowd every time they play the JackJumpers. Got some excitement machines who give it their heart and soul. And we mentioned it earlier with Jared Weeks. So you set a standard, and everyone that comes to play follows the standard. It's been brilliant to watch. 53-49 as it stands right now. They've led for the majority of the game. Taipans have stolen it, tied it up. Every time they've done that, the JackJumpers have been able to bounce away from them. 53-49. JackJumpers looking for their second win of the Blitz in their final tune-up game. Taipans looking for their first win. Jawai looks okay. He was a little bit proppy after chasing the last one down. Jock Perry staying out there, their development player, the JackJumpers. Went to college at St Mary's, NBL 1 with the Ballarat Miners, 7'1", big unit. Chris Levick hands it to the man we're speaking about, Perry to McDaniel. Fade away 2. Beautifully dropped.
That was a tough shot because he lost the ball, had to regain it.
McCall with McDaniel in his grill.
Knock that down.
Kenny ran out of tarmac, had to go back, give to Jawai, long range 2, never looked likely. JackJumpers get a chance to extend their margin. Majet from way outside.
Logo.
Oh my goodness! With the big plug for Kmart on the way through.
Let's go. Shout out to Kmart.
Kenny. Natai back to Kenny. A little bit of a change up with the 5 on the floor for the Taipans. Kenny, he's been doing that all his life. And no.
Offensive foul.
Wow.
Can we go back to Majet from the land of plenty? You go under, I make you pay. Bucket. Shout out to Kmart.
58-49, they skipped away the JackJumpers, but again, they skipped away from the 36ers to the tune of 21 points and couldn't get the job done against the 36ers in Game 3 of their preseason NBL Blitz campaign. They lost that one 82-80. Can they bring this one home for the home crowd and keep the Taipans winless? Weeks handed it up. Adams. Weeks. Gets the screen from Perry, steps it in, back to Perry as a reward. Little turn, spin, shoot. Tried to get it to drop off the glass. Pinder with the rebound and the foul's called for the push. Pinder back to Kenny. Weeks in his grill. Working off that screen, Kenny. Natai. Zimmerman trying to get some energy back. McCall, he's been the energy guy. Tried the Euro and then the tough fadeaway off balance. Didn't work for him. Adams. Huge moment here for the JackJumpers. Edging close to 3/4 time to put a big margin on it. And the teardrop, not quite from Adams. Had some confidence to throw it up though. Kenny. Zimmerman. Perry wearing him. Forced him to give it back to Kenny. Takes it inside on Adams. 2 came at him and the double team worked. Quickly down the floor.
You can just see the intensity defensively. They got a couple of buckets. The lead is opening up. They're
And
feeling better.
Banks it in.
Josh Adams to the rack. To the rack.
Trouble for Cairns again. They've seen this movie before. Lost all 4 games so far in the Blitz. Zimmerman nearly had his pocket picked, but he will retain it.
Lead is up to 11. JackJumpers coming out in this 3rd quarter. All gas.
And McCall has worked his backside off. Gets a rest for his trouble. Zimmerman lost it, pocket picked, and the foul on the way through. And his arm chopped. Chris Levick pleads his case. And they needed to break the Taipans inside the last minute to 3/4 time.
It's been a drought offensively, but we have to give credit where credit's due. The JackJumpers have done a great job defensively the last 5 minutes in this quarter.
Can't afford that. See if we can find the hole with the second one. The big Zim. He does. So the seconds will tick down here There's a little less than you've got on your screen. JackJumpers. Time to set it up though. Weeks gets it back from Krislovic. Adams. Here we go. He knows it's going to be his moment. Draws the crowd, pulls it back out, waits. Seconds tick down on him. Step back, 3. Pinder has got a couple of seconds to get this up. To Natai. He realises it now and drops it on cue. Big finish to the third. Just what the Taipans needed. And Jordan Natai makes it his moment. 53-60 at three-quarter time. JackJumpers lead by 7, but it could have been a lot worse than that for Cairns.
That was a much-needed hit for Cairns because absolutely nothing offensively is happening. But one more quarter left. There's the field goal percentages for this team.
27% from 3, 4 of 15. JackJumpers are 9 of 20, 45%. JackJumpers have left a few points out there from the charity stripe as well.
Yeah, they have. Cairns still leading rebounds. JackJumpers have just done a good job in that third quarter to just open it up. I mean, Joshua Jett making plays happen at the right time.
Mikhail McIntosh with 16, Majette 15, Adams 13, leading scorers. And it's a little bit more spread for the Taipans. Noi with 10, Zimmerman 9, Joai 9. Again, no Scott Machado for the Taipans. Not taking the court tonight, just getting ready for round 1 of the main season for the Cairns Taipans. So that's going to be huge for them to try and start the season well. And with a full quota, Perth host Cairns, RAC Arena, Sunday, December 5 in their opening game of the season. Next week, next Sunday, or Sunday week if you like, this coming Sunday week. Jet, 5 assists. McCall, 5 assists, the leaders for their respective teams. I like the JackJumpers mascot, by the way.
I love them.
I'm glad they went for the big angry ants.
I love the logo.
Oh, exactly.
I love the colors. There's nothing I do not like about the JackJumpers.
And the kids love it too. Out there doing the Madison. Entertaining during the three-quarter time break, and now back to the serious stuff. Over to you, Agent 97, Jared Weeks. Takes it down the floor, takes it inside, gave it some thought, gave it to Adams. I'll get another chance. Weeks. Back to Adams again. Takes on Natai, takes on Zimmerman, takes on the lot of them, and he's drawn the foul. He's gone down hard. Let's hope he's okay.
He'll be fine. He's a tough customer.
I mentioned the car accident that nearly ended his career. It was huge. He's got a couple of scars on his forehead from it. And he slowly gets his way up. And we'll head to the line. The tattoos on his arms, including one with a couple of lines of inspiration for perseverance. And from day one, when he arrived in Tasmania, the crowds enjoyed his work. Josh Adams delivers there. Pushes the margin back out. A little bit of breathing space again. Pinder hands it over. Jared Kenny with the responsibility. Matt Kenyon watching him carefully. Zimmerman. Perry. Zimmerman. Now the double team. Krislovic came at him. To Natai. Time ticking down. Zimmerman backs his way in. 3 came at him. Fade away 2. Rims out. Good D. Kenyon holds it up.
That's great defense by the team. I love the fact that they shrank the court because of the poor three-point shooting in this game by Cairns. There's no reason to stretch the defense. Stretch your defense. Clog up the paint and have them beat you from outside, and you have the comfortable lead, so it favors you.
couple of guys sucking in the deep breaths as well. So 9 minutes away from their pre-season being over, and then the main season they'll get ready for. It's going to be magnificent. This Hungry Jacks NBL season coming starts next Friday night. Kenny. Handed back to Inga, who's on the floor now. Nartai for three. He can't fill it up. Stolen back by McDaniel. Gave it some thought to go inside. Holds it up. Wants to set it up. Does jump in there. Draws the crowd. Handed it to Kenyon. And he put his foot on the line. Turned over. Cairns, Taipans ball. Still a ton of time left in it for them. Nartai. Again, double teamed, making it tough. Zimmerman. And dropped from long range, Braden Inga. That's huge.
Man, much needed three.
He's come off the bench, playing a couple of valuable minutes now. Haven't even got his name on his singlet.
I mean, and as poor as the Taipans are shooting, it's a 2-possession game. They're right in this thing.
Perry just turned and decided to shoot himself. Zimmerman. He's not getting any shorter as the game goes longer. The big 7-footer. Pulling down some important rebounds.
Oh, great
And here
pass.
he is under the bucket. Can't finish. Got the nudge though. Will go to the line.
That is a great pass. Great dive by the big fella, Zimmerman. Getting his head to the basket, unable to finish that, but he goes to the line for two.
High school in Las Vegas. Said he wants to win Defensive Player of the Year if he can. It's a mindset that'll please a lot of coaches around the competition and around the world. And here he is at the line. Needs to deliver a couple here. JackJumpers will have a few things going through their minds as well. They lost the game against Adelaide when they were 21 up. They were smashed by the Wildcats in their last game by 30. This one's theirs if they're good enough. They don't want to let it slip now. Put more doubt in their minds heading into the main season. Majet, who was spectacular early, and drops a huge one here. That was sweet.
Continues the good game, the good form that he is currently in. That should be about 17 points he's up to. He is balling.
Zimmerman. Had to float it in on Pinder, but had Jared Bairstow for company under the bucket, called for that.
And as you stated, this is a big test for the JackJumpers. They just got spanked by 30, and you said they blew a 21-point lead. They need to show that went under a little bit of pressure. Great defense, great steal.
Does he go alone?
Oh, for the three?
Pulls up from the three. It would have been nice had a drop, but
I love his work.
okay.
I love his work.
His teammates weren't even trying. They didn't even worry about trying to catch up. They thought, okay, he's got this covered.
Trying to open this thing up.
Kenny has been in this situation before. 36 years of age. Old head on his shoulders. Zimmerman. Will he back his way in? Will they double team him? They thought about it. Nartai. He's put one in from long range. That was never a chance in the air. And Majet lets it bounce out back to the JackJumpers. Josh Majet. Hands it up to Bairstow, gives it up to McDaniel. Little step back.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Bang.
You saw from last season with United his confidence growing with more opportunity playing on the court that Coach Vickerman gave him. So for him to come into this space, he should be way more confident. He's going to get way more opportunity. Nice mid-range finish.
Oh, yeah, that was delightful to watch.
Foul.
Keanu Pinder. Oh, offensive foul. You mentioned Sam McDaniel, talked about it earlier on, but he's a Tasmanian back home, so new team. Was always going to be a chance to be enticed back. Was a starter against Perth as well in that last game I talked about where they were blown away. 26 minutes, 16 points, 4 rebounds. He tried his heart out in that as well. And again, Clint Steindl, the captain for the JackJumpers, not out there tonight with that dislocated finger. Let's hope he's going to be okay for their opening game of the season, their season opener, hosting Brisbane at My State Bank Arena in Hobart next Friday night. And let's hope Scott Machado will be able to suit up for the Cairns Taipans as well in their season opener. 6 minutes left in this, 66-58.
Let's make no mistake, Mirko Jeric hadn't played either. So that's pretty much the backcourt of the Taipans. Mirko, we know, is a sharp shooter. That will help a lot in the regular season. The Taipans hitting from the land of plenty.
Mika Vacona having a word too. Clint Steindl. We saw Adam Ford just letting the refs know where he thinks that they can improve. And still letting them know as to whether we're all on the same page as to how those calls should go. He's going to have a sit down and let it unfold again. JackJumpers ball. Can they extend this margin? McDaniel has a little play, gets a screen. Long range 2 didn't work, but they'll get another chance. Majet. And drops a bomb.
He's up to 20. Impressive 20. 3 of 5 from the free throw line. 3 of 6 from the land of plenty.
Still time enough for the Taipans. Zimmerman doesn't back his way in this time. Gets it back from Deng. And again draws a crowd. 3 around him, 4 around him, 5 around him. And can't put it in the bucket.
Great one-on-one defense right there. That possession by Will Magnay.
Majet trying to put this beyond doubt. Hands it back out. McDaniel steps it in. Hands it over. Saves the day. Back to Majet. Thought he was going to draw the foul, but just puts the 2 in sweetly anyway.
22 points. Every bucket in the second half he's put up and made has been impressive.
What do you got left, Cairns? 5 minutes left to try and get a win out of the preseason competition. They need a 3 now, and finally they get one. The drought has been broken finally by Majok Deng. It's been tough for them this evening from outside the arc. Still some life. 10-point game. 4.5 minutes left. Majet's been the difference maker and is the difference maker
goodness.
Again. The Jet, Majet.
Yo, he's killing them. Whatever you want, he's doing. 5 assists, 22 points. He is killing them.
And don't you love it?
So unassuming.
And you can tell us about this, but don't fans in Australia love it when you get an import that turns up and does this?
Definitely. Crowd favorite between both Joshes. That backcourt is deadly. When Clint Steindl gets back from his dislocated finger, he adds another 3-point shooter. It stretches the floor.
Fantastic for the competition. But they are this lively, the JackJumpers. And they're about to grab their second win from the Hungry Jacks NBL Blitz.
He got 25.
That's a good 25 too.
Oh my
Hasn't
goodness,
been a
hard 25.
Quiet 25 that we didn't even know about.
A loud 25, giving them work.
McDaniel's got to have a sit down for a little while and maybe watch this last 4 minutes unfold. He's another that's given his heart and soul. Don't forget, this is game 1 of our doubleheader. Next, this is just the curtain raiser. Adelaide 36ers, the undefeated Adelaide 36ers, up against last year's grand finalists, the Perth Wildcats, the 10-time champs, the Perth Wildcats. Always tough to beat. The team that Corey Homicide Williams says won't make the playoffs this season. That Perth Wildcats, they're up next against the 36ers, so stick around for that. But a huge 4 minutes still to come here. Little double team, some pressure up the court. Majette has been the man. Back out, McIntosh hands it over. Matt Kenyon can't drop it. Steal and jam! Matt Kenyon. Had some big plays tonight, Matt Kenyon. Some steals, some blocks from just outside again, and that's the tale of the night. Noy sees that rim out. Been bare from beyond the arc for the Taipans. Majette, he's got a couple of points left in him. He's got plenty of time to play with if he wants to. McIntosh wants a piece of the action, rejected. Pinder, that was nice, but Majette gets it back. And Kenny, almost no choice but to foul. And you can tell by the faces on the Cairns Taipans players, they know this one has just about slipped away. It was within their grasp. They had their chances, especially mid-game when Corey Homicide Williams put the acid on. Said, show us what you got. Haven't been able to deliver.
You know, it was just too much of this man right here, Majette. When it was time to step up and make big plays happen, he did exactly that. He's a very valuable piece to this team. Great defense right there.
Well, again, he played for the USA men's national team in the FIBA qualifiers. He's got what it takes, Josh Majette. 26 NBA games with Atlanta and Orlando. And the Tasmanian fans are pretty happy with what they're seeing so far from a couple of their keys that have flown in to be part of this season's NBL action. Josh Adams and Josh Majette. Still a couple of minutes left in this one to get it done, finish it off, finish it strong. But Scott Roth has to be pretty happy now, given this performance is coming off a 30-point demolition job done on them by Perth.
And that's what you want to see. You want to see a team bounce back. Every game is not going to be your game. Every night's not going to be your night. But how you respond tells a lot about your team's character, collectively and individually.
Kyle McIntosh, Kenyon.
Oh, another one from the logo.
Oh, my goodness. Well, he might as well have a little heat check. He's got the right to.
He definitely got the right to.
See if Cairns can make the scoreline look a little more respectable by the end of this 3 minutes. Kratnoy tried to take it alone. Slammed away. Majette got one to the ear. They're going to fight this one right out. The JackJumpers are trying to extend this margin the way they're travelling at the moment. Noy hands it over. Cole, and still off the fingertip of Matt Kenyon, who again is a fighter. And it's still a Taipans ball. Noy saw an opening and tries to bank it in, and he does get it to rattle down. Little consolation prize for Kuat Noy. Josh Majette. Will Magnay hasn't had to play big minutes again. From outside again. This one does rim out, and Kyle McIntosh had that and then let it slip from his grasp. A little bit disappointed with himself. So the Taipans, well, game one lost to Adelaide 91-87. Game two lost to the JackJumpers 81-66. So they were blown away in that. Game three lost to Perth 96-87. Cairns led that one at three-quarter time as well and lost to Perth Game 4, lost to Brisbane 94-86, and they're about to go down in this one. Inga's been good though. He's given them a couple of nice buckets since getting some court time.
Not getting a lot of minutes, but making the best of his opportunity right now, and that's what you can do. It's 2 for 2 from the 3, and that's where they're struggling at. So at least he can leave this game confident going into regular season, shooting the ball from the perimeter.
So a bit of work for Adam Ford to do, taking over as coach of the Cairns Taipans. As Corey told you, they finished last season. They're going to finish last in this Hungry Jacks NBL Blitz. McIntosh back to Majet. He's going to play it out. It's been the gun all night. In he steps, hands it back out. Trying to be unselfish. Matt Kenyon's done some nice stuff, hands it up. That won't matter. Noy, almost he did throw it away. Too slick.
And right there is when you need to make a high percentage decision. Pull it out. Run a set. That's a high-risk pass.
JackJumpers will play a couple of games here in Launceston later this year. They'll play a couple of games at the Silver Dome. It's down the road from here, from the Elfin Sports Centre here in Launceston. And again, quite a few games will be played by the JackJumpers in Hobart. Looking forward to them kicking the season off. My State Bank Arena. They've got a pretty good roster. Jared Bairstow, Will Magnay, and look like they've got the nuts and bolts to put something together. And the steal, almost it is, from McIntosh. Up he goes and jams it down.
And another turnover by the Taipans.
Wow.
Look, if you're going to lose, you at least want to finish off the game the right way. Great defense by the JackJumpers. And a great finish.
Deans comes back out. To mention development player, local, heading to the University of Jacksonville. He gave them energy early. The crowd was up and about because he was out there. They gave him a huge round of applause. And he's going to finish it off on the floor in this last minute. Much to the delight of the locals. (80-68). Taipans came at them a few times. And every time they did, JackJumpers had the answers. McIntosh. Majet. What an evening he's had. Pat on the backside. It's been dominant. He sent a bit of a message to the competition as well.
And you know what I love about it? He's still out there being aggressive. Setting the tone for regular season. Showing the fans what he's about. Showing the organization what he's about and his teammates.
Yeah, he's been all business from the outset, Josh Majet. And he gets a round of applause as he heads off. Sean McDonald comes out for a couple of minutes to finish it off. Another development player. NBL 1 with the Dandenong Rangers. Sean McDonald had 5 minutes against Perth. Wasn't able to score. Let's see if he can get a little bit of the action here. Deans, can he go alone here? Gives it some thought. Crowd want him to go. Tried to be unselfish. Gets it back. Steps it in. It's unselfish again. Hands it away. Could have gone himself. And the foul's been called into the grandstand. It was cannoned. It's nice to see a couple of development players out there. Sean McDonald getting a chance to show the crowd what he's got as well. Jared Bairstow hasn't been used as much. Hasn't had to be. Will Magnay again, just easing into it. Last possession, in all likelihood, for the Taipans here. Jarrett Kenny. No Scott Machado for the Taipans, so they've had a bit to get their way through. Their number one assist man, and that's rejected by Will Magnay, much to the crowd's delight again. It might only have 15 odd seconds left on at the clock, but they are still fighting this all the way to the wire.
The rim protector right there. I'm telling you, this team is going to surprise a lot of their opponents. This is not an easy win.
So the final score at the Elfin Sports Centre in Launceston, the Tasmania JackJumpers, in their preparation for the main season. They open the Hungry Jacks NBL season next Friday night. They host Brisbane at MyState Bank Arena, and this has been the perfect preparation for them for the season opener.
Very impressive performance, bounce back performance after that butt whipping from Perth a couple days ago. This is what you want to see your team look like. Great performance. Josh Majette sets the tone and delivers. Dishes as well. Loving his work. Josh Adams. Will Magnay was solid. Sam McDaniel defensively is a problem. Hit some really good mid-range shots as well. I love the work of the JackJumpers today. Scott Roth would be pleased with his team's performance.
See the smiles on their faces as well as they get together. Nikita Mikhailovsky also didn't hit the floor in this one tonight for the JackJumpers. So they went deep, but they went deep with their development players. And as you mentioned, Josh Majette, a dominant performance. Josh Adams didn't have to dominate, and there were highlights aplenty. Very few highlights from outside the arc for the Taipans, but plenty inside and outside for the JackJumpers.
And shout out to McIntosh as well. Played a good game, put a good game together as well. The imports showed up. As I said, solid performance by Will Magnay, and he has a nice mid-range, Sam McDaniel. But defensively, he's a tough defender. Let's put him in a conversation for Defensive Player of the Year as well. He locks up. But that guy right there, man, whew, Majette. Cairns without their starting backcourt. Gave a solid effort. But midway in that third quarter, Majette start killing them. Josh Adams, tough to the basket. Good finish over the big fella. I like the JackJumpers. I like what I see.
How will they go? Hosting Brisbane at MyState Bank Arena in the season opener next Friday. Brisbane's undefeated in the Blitz.
Well, I put it to you like this. Brisbane Bullets are going to go as Lamar Patterson goes. So far, so good, right?
Well, you put it on him.
I don't count preseason. I hated preseason. I just wanted to play regular season.
Yep.
So, we'll see next week how we go, how they go. But I'm here watching.
And we'll be watching Brisbane on Sunday as well. They play the Adelaide 36ers in their final hit-out, their tune-up, to finish off the Hungry Jacks NBL Blitz. That's on Sunday, Brisbane and Adelaide. And then finally on Sunday to wrap up the Blitz, South East Melbourne Phoenix and Melbourne United at the Melbourne Sports Centre. Tomorrow night, Illawarra and Sydney comes your way as the Blitz continues for fans of the Hawks and the Kings. And don't forget, next, coming up very shortly, the Adelaide 36ers and the Perth Wildcats here at the Elfin Sports Centre in Launceston. A final word from Corey Homicide Williams before we say farewell.
Cairns Taipans, get it together. JackJumpers, good job. Look at those numbers. That trio. It's going to be a treat down there in Tasmania to watch this trio.
Yeah, Majette starring with 26 points, the number one scorer of the evening. Will Magnay pulling down 9 rebounds. Zimmerman looked pretty good. the big 7-footer. So congratulations to him for what he was able to put together tonight. But thanks for joining us. 83-68 the final score. JackJumpers win their final chin-up hit out before the season starts. But stick around, not far away on KO, Adelaide 36ers and Perth Wildcats to finish off our night.